So I'm definitely not a painter, as you can see, but how did I make $500 selling 4 paintings? And I was even debating whether or not I should make this video because I feel like this is such a small side gig thing that I was trying to do, but I know a lot of you are curious about how I started my creative business, and this is one of the things I did. So I do want to share it with you, even though I feel like this is totally not the main thing I was doing. It was just like a kind of like an experiment. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can sell paintings, and more specifically, I'm going to talk about my process for selling home paintings and how you can potentially turn this into a side business too. And you don't have to be the best at painting. Like, I'm not the best. I'm just, I don't know. I don't think I'm even like average. I think I'm like okay at painting. I can get by. So I have 6 tips for you. The first tip is to start off by practicing and offering your paintings for free. And for me, I offered the paintings for free to realtors who were in Vancouver, which is where I live. This is the exact message I sent to some realtors. And so I did 3 of these free paintings in total. And after I did the paintings, I asked these realtors if they can share on their social media, because then like usually realtors have a lot of other realtors following them. So then the other realtors will see the painting and maybe they are going to reach out. And it is kind of what happened with one of them, I think. Yeah, so I did a free painting for one realtor, and then I think another realtor saw my painting and then actually asked that realtor if she can get in contact with me. So that was actually really cool. So the more exposure you get, and also this is good just to practice. If you're gonna practice anyways, you might as well give it away and get some exposure, right? The second tip I have for you is to use a painting method that you feel comfortable with and where you think it can look decent. So for me, I am not the best at painting, but I can like sketch decently. So what I did is I would take the pictures of the paintings and then I would like basically print them out, and then I would trace a picture of the photo and then use my Micron pen. And Micron is a pen where the ink just doesn't bleed. It's like some archival, I don't know the exact term, but it just like, if you paint over the black pen, it doesn't bleed. So Micron is the pen I used, and then I would like do like a sketch of like the form of the house, and then I would just like color it in with watercolor. And my style of painting is kind of like, it kind of looks, I guess it's more like an urban sketch. I don't know yet. I don't know if that's the right term, but it's supposed to look kind of messy and not super duper neat. Messy is kind of like the look that I was going for. The next tip I have for you has to do with your mindset. So a lot of the times when you're just starting off doing art or starting something creative, you might doubt that the thing you create actually has value. So my tip for you is to really believe in what you create and know that it does have value. And I know this is really hard to believe because I honestly thought my paintings were just kind of, they were okay. But then when I sent it to the realtors, they were all like, wow, this is amazing. Or like I showed some of my friends and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know you could paint, you're so talented. So one thing you can do is to like show it to some people. And most of the time, like I feel like for the average person who isn't an artist or who is not a painter, like your painting will actually be very good. You probably think you are not as good as you are, but you are probably better than what you think you are. My next tip for you is to start a social media page. I recommend Instagram to start off, or maybe TikTok, to show off like what you do. I guess it can also be just sharing on your personal Facebook page. So this is kind of like you building a portfolio of everything you can do. So for me, my main thing is calligraphy, but I did share the paintings on my calligraphy account. It is art related, so like it doesn't make sense for me to create like a painting Instagram. But yeah, just like sharing it really, really helps, because when you share things, other people can like reshare, and it's a great place just to have everything together where people can see like what you do. And it's also another way for people to inquire about what you can do for them. Next tip I have for you is on pricing. So I did 3 paintings for free, and then when I actually got an inquiry to do like a paid painting, I charged $100 for a 8 by 10 size painting. And I felt like I was very comfortable with $100 because I know that for realtors who are giving like a gift when somebody buys a home or sells a home, like they'll usually buy some kind of gift. I think a lot of realtors give champagne. So like $100 is kind of like a good value for a gift. And you might be looking at like, for example, Etsy, you might see some really cheap custom home paintings. Like people will do it for like $20. And I know you might think,
oh, well, if people are offering it on Etsy for $20, why would anyone pay $100 for it?
But the reason why people want you to do the painting is because like there could be a lot of factors. You could be local, it could be through a referral, you could be in their network. Maybe they just like you or they like your personality or they just like your style. So even though like there could be such a huge range for what people price their paintings, and even as low as $20, charge what you feel is comfortable for you at the moment. But I would, if it's like a 8 by 10 painting, I would probably start off at $100 because think about all the time you're gonna take to do the painting. You need to maybe make a draft. Then you have to, for me, I have to do the Micron like black ink. Then I have to do the watercolor painting. So it takes me like 3 hours to do the whole thing. That's like $30 an hour. And it might even take longer. You have to meet up with the client. You have to prepare, I don't know. So like it's gonna take a couple of hours. And if you're charging $20, $30, you're making like nothing. It's like nothing for your time. So that's why I started off at $100. It probably took me like 3 to 4 hours per painting. And I thought that was like a reasonable amount for the time that I was putting in. I did 4 paintings that were paid and I increased the price with each painting. So the 4 paintings, I did the first one for $100. The second one I also did for $100. The third one I did was $165, and the fourth one I did was $180. So I increased it with time, and I was more comfortable with doing that. Also remember that a painting, like remember the value of a painting. It is something that people are going to put in their home for like years and years and years and years and years. And what is the value of the like painting? Also the sentimental value is that it's a house, it's a painting of a house that's really important to them. It's a huge part of their lives. And so that's why you can, if you think about the value of the painting, it's like something that people will see and their family and their friends will see when they go to their house. It's gonna be on the wall for many years, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. What is the value of that? What is the value of the satisfaction or the enjoyment that people will get from looking at your painting and a reminder of all the memories of that house? So that's something to think about. My next tip for you, if you aren't sure if you want to do this, is honestly, just try it. Like you don't have to be super duper committed to this. Like whenever you're starting a venture or a new business, you can just kind of do it casually. You can just experiment and be curious and see where it goes. Like you don't have to be like, okay, this is gonna be the business I'm gonna do for the next 5 years. You can try it out, do a couple free paintings, see if anyone else is interested, and just kind of go with the flow. So don't put too much pressure on yourself and just try it if you're interested in doing it. Do let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer because I really do want to see more people doing what they love and really sharing their art with like people around them. If you think you're decent at painting, another very good income stream that you can consider is selling greeting cards. And I have 2 videos right here on how to sell greeting cards. So make sure you check out these because it will give you a lot of ideas of the kind of income streams that you can generate with painting itself.